If you were to ask the question, what is your favorite room in your house? Some may say the bathroom, some may say the kitchen, some may say their bedroom. The answers are going to vary. But if you are a content creator and you're a content creator that loves to knit and crochet, then you are going to definitely say your craft room. Well, in today's video, I'm going to give you a behind the scenes sneak peek of my favorite room, which is my craft room, and show you how I try to organize myself in a limited space on a limited budget. All right, so let's take a quick 360 tour of my room, a quick walk around. I'll show you my shelving system and the small space that I use to film the videos for you guys and some of the equipment that I use to film the videos. So again, I use a shelving system. So this is from a Walmart, a plastic shelf, nothing fancy at all, very inexpensive. And this keeps my DK weight yarn, my big cakes. I have some jumbos in the back of those DK yarn skeins there. And then I have my Dollar Tree yarn and more Dollar Tree yarn. Every time I go to Dollar Tree, I always pick up yarn. I love to use those for tutorials or to practice stitches. It's just an inexpensive way to do that. And then the bottom shelf, the shelf that always needs some extra love and TLC, that bottom shelf is my scrap yarns and my cotton yarn there. So that's how I categorize those. I like to have it by what type of yarn, and if I can, by color, so that I can just go to the shelf and grab as quickly as possible. So I have a packing station as well. So when I do have to pack up orders, I have my printer, I have my poly mailers, and I have this little space right here to do my packaging. So my packages, what I have to ship out, really isn't that big. So this space here is perfect. Plus, it's a shelving unit underneath. That is just an absolute nightmare. So I'll spare you guys that viewing pleasure. But the shelving system is kind of like a 2-in-1. I have a table on top, and then I have some shelves at the bottom. So that's a space saver as well. So I like that combo there. So then we have the computer and the workstation with my great cord management here. So there's that. And then I have my yarn, color coded once again. That just helps me. I'm a visual person, so that just helps me stay organized. So these are all the acrylics, like the red hearts and the oh my goodness, I'm losing my words. The red hearts and the loops and threads and things of that nature. So they are color coded over here. And then I have more color coded over here with variegateds here and things of that nature. So just trying to keep everything as organized as possible, because again, if you have limited space, for me, if I have everything all over the place, I'm never going to be able to find anything, and that just adds frustration to the whole process. So lastly, this is where I do my filming for my videos. This is just a simple table, foldable table that I got from a Walmart. Nothing fancy whatsoever. I picked white because when I was doing my videos before, I was doing it on a darker table, and I noticed that what didn't have the visual effect that I wanted. White usually shows up a whole lot better, in my opinion, than darker colors. So white was the obvious choice. So this is foldable. So if I need more space, I can fold it up. I could use half the table. Excuse me. I could use half the space if I fold it up. So that is definitely a plus for me. So as far as content creation is concerned, with a limited budget, you can only buy so much. So I simply use my phone. I don't own a camera, as of yet. So I use what I have, which is my phone. And I use two light boxes. I got these from Amazon. And I will put this in all these things in the description. So if you want to pick some of these things up, feel free to do so. So I have one light that is on the table. And then I have another light that is overhead. Now this is above my phone setup so that I have light coming from two different directions. I also have this lamp here that it's one of these two lamps here, one that has that hanging component to it. So I like that feature because the lamp is kind of another 2-for-1 type item, space saver. So I could use it for lighting for anything, and then I could use it for filming as well. So this hanging part, I have that dangle over the table for another source of light. So when I'm doing my work, this is how it's so illuminated, because I have so much lighting on the particular area that I'm working with. So if you can't afford the big studio lights, this is a alternative to have cheaper forms of light. Just work on where you place your lights. So as for my overhead, where I put my phone, it's kind of like this tripod type deal with this hanging component, and then I stabilize it with this heavier bowl so it doesn't wobble around. And then I put my phone in a clamp there, and this has a light on it as well. So, and that's another light source that comes right down on my hands that are on the table. So that's how I film my tutorials, and that's how it's so bright and illuminated, because of my light placement. Very inexpensive. I think this was, I don't think, I know this wasn't any more than, $100 just to set all this up. I think it was probably less than that, to be honest with you. But here is the mic that I use as well. I think sound is important. You need to hear, what you're saying if you're recording. So this is a Hollyland mic, and I will put this in the description as well. That's an inexpensive mic that you can use so that you can record and people can hear you with good sound quality. And I also have a little basket here that if and when I run out of yarn, I just put it in my to shop basket, I'll call it that. And then when I go to place orders, I know exactly what I'm out of. Just a way to organize myself so that I'm not guessing and just not shopping with no intention. I know exactly what I need to buy. And this is a yarn shaver. Of course, you got your stitch markers and your scissors. Just little knickknacks I have on my workstation so that I am prepared to do tutorials for you guys. So that is my little setup. Nothing fancy, nothing, wild and crazy. Just something to, get yourself started. And if you want to do content creation, you don't have to wait until you get everything under the sun. You can clearly just work with what you have. So, with that being said, that's my little setup, guys. Again, nothing fancy, nothing over the top, nothing that, you can't, like I said, again, I don't even have a camera. So it is what it is when it comes to that. So I hope that brought you some encouragement to, even if content creation is not something that you want to do, even if it's something you want to do cooking, or even if you want to start a bakery, if you can only make one set of cupcakes, just make that. Work with what you have, and then you will eventually grow from there. So this is why I wanted to make this video, because don't let that stop you. Don't let, because you don't have this, you don't have that. Don't put those limitations on yourself. If there's something you want to do, just go for it and just do it. So if you found value in this video, please consider liking this video. That definitely helps the channel out. And if you want to be part of the community, I would love to have you. So subscribe so that you will be kept notified on when my next video comes out. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.